There seems to be a gap in what I believe to be the most important thing, which is what dynamics are at play in a business. Because if you understand, it's sort of like a game of football or any sport where you can learn all of the tools, how to return the ball, but when you're in a particular position in a sport, you need to understand the dynamics at play, meaning it's in your best interest to know what the opposing team or player is planning, what is going on in their head, in order for you to strategize your side. This is what a lot of people have been told, that there is how success works in business, and you have your passions and your skill sets and your market, and then right in there in between where they all intersect is success. And I think that this is a fairly workable template, but after going through what I've gone through and discovered some of the tricks and experience that I've come up with how we can look at our businesses in order to start to understand where to place the importance of our time and energy. In this example, we've taken the market as in everything around you. And I've relabeled some of these, again, in my own experience, how I think you should refocus your efforts. And we have, if some of you, I guess this is a good time to introduce the book that I've written. I highly recommend that you take a few minutes and go to the local, the Amazon of the world, or the iTunes and the Audible, and take a listen or have a read, because this is the foundation. This book is the foundation for everything that I'll be talking about. My definition of successful business is what I call the Zen side of business. And that's basically a business that affords prosperity. It's creating a company that embodies you. It's bringing the right people into your organization by creating a following of supporters, and then serving a community. It is important to me that those four elements are addressed in a business. Why create a business that isn't an expression of you? Some argue that it's strictly a cash endeavor, and that's certainly an option. A lot of companies run that way. I think we know many Fortune 500 companies that actually run that way. But to go back to the diagram here, I have your personality. As I explained earlier, that's part of the Zen business owning experience. Is in some way, shape, or form make sure that your personality and the passions and things that drive you are front and center in some capacity. And then your capacity. So if for some of you who are new to business, let's just all agree on some terms here to make sure that we're all on the same page. So your capacity in business is the term that that's referred to your ability to produce something. So you have the capacity to produce X or X, Y, and Z, or whatever that is. If it's a video, then your capacity would be, well, I have a camera. If you're doing influencing, I have a camera, I have a computer, I have an editing thing. So you have the capacity to produce a video. If you are, in food and, you have XYZ size kitchen, or refrigerator rather, then your capacity would be that, that kitchen and those ingredients. And you would, if you had a big influx of business, if you had a large influx of business, you would probably run out of space, and you would run out of capacity. So capacity is important, because as business owners, it's one of those things that you need to know you have the ability to deliver something. And a lot of companies, I've heard this before, there's two reasons why companies go out of business. One of them being not enough business, and two being too much business. Meaning that you can actually lose your customers if you can't deliver. If you expand and go beyond your capacity and you cannot deliver what you say you can when you say you're supposed to, then you have reached your capacity and it will work against you in this regard. So in this example, we have your personality, you, the director, the creator, your vision, your dream, and then here you have the capacity, the ability for you to fulfill some sort of a promise to a customer. And that obviously includes your raw materials, and I just discussed that. And then in the last bubble, we have the organization of those assets and processes. So it's basically how you organize your goals and passions with your capacity. And these, for some of you who don't know what SWOT is, it's a tool that we use to understand your position in the marketplace, and it stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And we'll go over that much later. And then here is you have the intersection of how you're allocating your assets and processes versus your raw materials. We would call that operations. And how you organize your assets in conjunction with your personality. We're going to call that culture. And then, of course, the SWOT is the combination of your personality meeting your raw materials and your capacity. So right in the middle is where you will hit the bullseye. When you fully know who you are, who is this person running the company, you know what your capacity is and your and you've staffed or you've accumulated the raw materials that you need in order to produce said promise, and your organization of those, and that includes everything from marketing and all that, and all of those come together right in the middle. So when you have a full understanding of these three items, that's where you will be able to produce. This is why I wrote the Zen side of business ownership, and this is what I'm trying to address in the business world. So I'm going to leave it at that. I want to not create these videos too long. I don't want them to be too long for you, but I certainly want to get another checkbox off my list, especially now that it's a new year. And I want to start sharing some of this information with you and create a group of folks that believe in a holistic Zen business ownership experience and want to give back to their community and know how they can do that. I want to help anyone who wants to live out their dream and not be blindsided with all the stuff that's going to be coming at them from different angles. So more later.